Like I was saying earlier, we do have a special guest speaker tonight. He's a good buddy of mine. I've been working with him for a couple of years now. He's a very impressive individual. You know, these are the people that I'm talking about in recovery that we need to support. You know, Courtney is a very unique individual. He's got tons of charisma, tons of personality. This guy's been through a lot. He's probably gotten 3 different death sentences, you know, through his life that he has overcome, survived, conquered, and, you know, is here tonight to share that experience, strength, and hope with us. So, big round of applause for our main speaker tonight, Courtney Collier. That's the best name in the room.
Good evening. My name is Courtney Collier, and I'm an alcoholic and I'm an addict. Thank you. Wow. You know, my late grandmother, Agnes Collier, she would probably turn over in her grave and clutch her good pearls, hearing me say such a thing. I'll always remember her, with the smell of sweet, hard candy peppermints on her breath. My grandmother always told me things like, Courtney, you could be president of the United States of America if you wanted to.
That's right.
I must have always had a puzzled, perplexed, and somewhat disbelief look on my face, because she would always follow up, well, if you don't want to be president of the United States, you can be president of something. Those soft, sweet, peppermint-flavored conversations must have inspired me, because I remember having many dreams of being like a superhero, flying through the air, being invincible, and having superpowers or super strength. That's the way it appeared in my dreams, except, of course, until I woke up. Once I was awake, that's when the reality of the reasons why I couldn't be president of the United States became apparent to me. One of the reasons being the many nights, many occasions, when I awoke to cold, moist sheets and covers of wet bed caused by my own release. After waking up from wetting the bed during my superhero-like dreams, I would awake to the nightmares of my true life. You know, I never did get a good understanding of why or what the cause behind why I wet the bed. I remember my mom telling me something like, well, you know, kids with asthma, sometimes that does happen to them. I never really know if that was true or not, but what I do know was that wetting the bed always left me with the feeling of being isolated and alone. No one else in the household wet the bed. No one else I knew who lived on my street or went to my school wet the bed. No one else in the world that I knew wet the bed. I was the only one. Isolation. Another reason why I couldn't have been president was because I had a severe temper. Lashing out in rage, getting into verbal altercations, biting, fighting, repeatedly getting kicked out of band camps, summer camps, Boy Scouts. One time I remember being so upset at my only blood brother. I was so upset at him that I was acting like a loose cannon, impulsively chasing him down the street, throwing steak knives at him, one after the other. Like I was a black belt Ninja Turtle, running and launching knives. They went spinning through the air, some near his head, others at his back, some fell just short of his feet. The chase pursued until I ran completely out of ammunition. Thank God he had a head start. Thank God I had poor aim. Impulsiveness. Lashing out without thinking about the consequences. making decisions without thinking and weighing out the end results, impulsiveness, isolation. Finally, being marked as a molested child, I felt as though I could never serve my country. No one would stand up and vote for a president who had this sort of violation occur to them. This allowed me to harbor feelings of guilt and shame, and I also learned about keeping secrets. Don't ask, don't talk about it, and don't tell. I really learned about hiding secrets. Now, there's secrets, guilt and shame, impulsiveness, and isolation. None of these are a good look for a future president of the United States of America. Isolation, impulsiveness, guilt and shame, secrets. Isolation, impulsiveness, guilt and shame, secrets. Stirring round and round like brew in a pot. Isolation, impulsiveness, guilt and shame, secrets. Stirring round and round in my life, brewing like a perfect storm, adding one last element: isolation, impulsiveness, guilt and shame, secrets, alcohol, and drugs. Kaboom! The explosion of life. Pandora's box is now open. The forbidden fruit digested. My life is now catapulted into a new dimension. Just when you think you've had enough, just when you think the ride of life feels like it's over, here comes another sharp turn and dip, one final blow. HIV. No one in their right mind would want such a president. Not a president with these kind of qualities and circumstances. Now that I've received the death sentence, I'm just waiting to die. So I might as well continue to get high. So on and on, my life is sucked away, down and down into a dark hole, getting every day more miserable and drizzly until 2014, the final blow, the last stand, me against white corporate America. Here I am with an MBA. Mad at the world. Mad that I had to face a corporate pale white boss, uneducated, who had the audacity to call me out in a meeting because I was dysfunctional and falling asleep, nodding off in his meeting. Now how dare he? How dare he call me out, the only black male on his entire team? How dare he? So I had to show him. I went into human resources and made a big fuss about how wrong he was and how right I am for coming into work non-functional, not being able to participate because of my party adventures from the night or several nights before. With little to no sleep, I could barely keep my eyes open. Day after day, coming to work high as a kite. So HR asked me, well, what do you want to do? I had a master plan. Checkmate. Now, this was the excellency worthy of a president. His final move, his final stance. I want to go on medical leave. I need some time. Okay, they replied. Here's the paperwork, all the documentation that you need to complete. Just fill these out and let us know how everything turns out and when you're ready to turn to work. Yes! 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 I won! I did it. So off I go, home to party for a few weeks and enjoy my new life as I sit at home getting paid, my master plan, my master scheme. But little did I know what lied ahead and what was in face for me. So after a few weeks of partying, I checked myself into rehab. No, not what you think. Not because I needed help. Nope. Not because I wanted it. No. Not because I had a problem. And certainly not because my life is so horrible. No. I just simply needed the certificate. The certificate of completion so that I could support my disability medical leave claim. That's all I need. I only wanted to show them that I was a winner. So I sat in class a couple of weeks, speechless, mindless, unknowing, and disconnected. One day, when I was ready to try and pull it together and show all these losers how it's really done, all these phony people that are coming into treatment after 2 and 3 days over the weekend, relapsing, you know, after one good week, and they mess up. So I tried, and I couldn't. And then I tried, and I didn't. Then I tried with all my heart, and I found out that I can't. Not 1 week. Not 1 week did I produce one negative urine drop. Not 1 week was I able to withstand from using. Oh, what a feeling. Sinks deep down in your soul. The day that you realize that your life is out of control. One thing that I did know was that I was lost, I was hopeless, and it was pointless. You know, one thing I did know that I wasn't anyone's dummy. So the next day, I came into class with some class. I started learning, I started churning the thoughts, the ideas, the principles, and the knowledge. I finally started getting it. 1 week, then 2 weeks, then 3 weeks, 30 days, on and on I continued my journey. Then a critical point came when I had to make a decision about my living situation. You see, now, this is where teams like John Stuckey, the Stuckeys, Recovery House, ARCHway Institute, the Menji, they all fit into this picture of recovery. Without pertinent people in place to intervene and to intercede into people's recovery, to give them important tools and keys like transitional sober living, family support, and medications, without teams like ARCHway Institute, without teams that help people obtain a key element of life that's never been had before, it's nearly impossible to recover. There are some